You always hear about the 12 days of Christmas. You know what I always hear? The 12 excuses I always hear at pickleball tournaments that are absolutely hilarious. Pickleball lovers, Merry Christmas, and let's get started right now. This is the 12th worst excuse I've heard from someone after losing a pickleball tournament. I came up to them, I asked them, how did you do? They looked at me in the eye and said, Joey, honestly, they targeted my partner, they iced them, I did not see one ball. I hear this excuse a lot, have you heard it? Next one. The 11th most common excuse I hear from someone after losing at a pickleball tournament is that it's extremely windy. Like they never play in wind ever, right? It was extremely windy. I know a lot of people here in Florida play indoors all the time and then go to a tournament and realize that a pickleball is like an ounce and the wind blows it a ton and they flat out whiff. And it is a good excuse if you don't practice in wind, I guess. Number 10, I'm gonna throw in pickleball equipment. Number 1, paddle, it delaminated, right? Joey, my paddle delaminated, I couldn't hit a ball. I'm like, that's actually a good thing your paddle delaminated, just aim for the person. They go, Joey, honestly, I've played with Dora balls for the last 3 months. I had no idea this tournament was using Franklin's. And I said, it's right on the sheet. And then I say, actually, I didn't know either. I was just trying to be smart. And I played with Doras as well, and that's why I lost. The number 9 excuse I hear at a pickleball tournament after someone loses is that, and before I say this, let me preface this by saying if your husband or wife or significant other is in the room, ask them to leave. Okay, so they pull me aside and they say, Joey, you know, honestly, we have an amazing marriage, blah, 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 but we suck at pickleball. And then we drive the whole way home, we're pissed off, and that's why we lost, because we have no chemistry playing pickleball. We have chemistry in other places, but not on the pickleball court. Have you experienced this? The number 8 excuse you hear after someone loses at a pickleball tournament is this, and it's hilarious. And this is a true story. I pulled my client aside. I said, Bill, how did you do in the tournament? He goes, Joey, honestly, we played the best team first. We should have got silver. We didn't do well. We ended up losing in the losers bracket, but we played the best team first and would have gotten silver. I do see some holes in that story. It is unlucky you had to play the best team first. I would suggest of just winning and you could have got gold instead of not medaling at all and telling people you could have got silver. 7, and if you just played pickleball this morning against a Lobber in rec play, maybe you should just skip this, but they say, Joey, they lob me all the time, right? All they did was lob. They didn't know how to play pickleball. They just had this crazy lob into the wind that I'm not used to, and I think I'm not playing a tournament again because I can't hit an overhead. The number 6 most common excuse I hear at a pickleball tournament is that, Joey, we had no game plan going in. The other team knew what they were doing. And I say, Bill, how come you didn't have a game plan going in? Couldn't you have done that? He goes, honestly, Joey, my partner could have done that, not me. The number 5 most common excuse you hear at a pickleball tournament is, I had to wait way too long between matches. I ain't no spring chicken. I sit about 30 to 40 minutes between matches, and sometimes it could be 2 hours in a PPA event. I think it's insane. I think it's a good excuse. I don't think people should have to wait in between games that long in a tournament, and I agree with number 5 for the record. The number 4th most common excuse you hear at a pickleball tournament, and you hear it a lot more now, is that basically, I thought it was double elimination. I lost in the first round, and I thought it was double elimination. I can come back and win gold. But now the PPA basically says you can come back and win bronze. They didn't know the format. So that's a major excuse. It could be a round robin, right? Maybe they didn't know. But that's number 4. I think it's valid this day and age as tournaments try to make more and more in revenue, so they make matches shorter. Number 3, and I'm going to make fun of my client, but I actually did this before, is not knowing your opponent is left-handed. I can't tell you how many times I've watched my clients' matches and asked them after the match, how come you didn't hit middle? They had 2 backhand middles, they weren't stacking, and they look at me and they didn't know that person was left-handed. Full disclosure, and I feel like an idiot for saying this, I played one tournament and I didn't know my own partner was left-handed to the second match. We lost. The number 2 most common mistake for losing at a pickleball tournament, and this is a real excuse, is you're out of shape. Seriously, people don't know this, but a pickleball tournament is all day. I live in Florida. It's super hot here all day in the sun. If you're not in good shape, you're not going to do well. And a lot of times I'll say, honestly, I ran out of gas. Because if I didn't, I would have won. The number 1 most common mistake for losing at a pickleball tournament is not knowing the score. Let me elaborate: dementia. Not knowing the score, arguing over the score, getting in arguments. They get riled up, right? They say the opponents are cheaters because they really don't know the score. Either team doesn't know the score at all. What time is it? I have no idea. What's the score in pickleball? I don't know. Is it 1 or 2? No one really knows. And pickleball lovers, don't forget to have a good day. Pickleball lovers, any other crazy excuses you have heard or used at a pickleball tournament to throw the blame on your partner or someone else? Please leave it in comments. Don't forget to have a Merry Christmas. Save 10% on any paddle. Keeps us in business and saves you 10%. The only win-win in life. And don't forget to have a Merry Christmas. I said that already.